Hello.
Hi.
Yes, welcome back to Iloilo Prima Galaw Art Institute. And for today, or like this afternoon, this evening, this morning, we have prepared questions. The three of us will answer. We have with us, of course, Teacher Darlene and Teacher Aly. And the three of us, like we are teachers, and we will answer the questions that we ourselves prepared. Joke. I mean, they don't know exactly the questions. Well, I prepared it myself. But I would like also to answer some of the questions because I am also a teacher. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
So, yes, yeah. So now we have here who will answer the first question. Yes, so Teacher Darlene, go.
Teacher Aly.
Teacher Aly! Teacher Aly, go.
Yes. Why did you decide to become a teacher? Wow, that's a very wonderful question. Thank you for that. So I think, sir, before I really didn't want to be a teacher, but I'm not really a very studious student before. But I decided to become a teacher. I think it's part of my calling as well because I believe that teaching is a vocation.
Yes.
So
definitely.
It was a calling that I got from God because I believe, and now that I have become a teacher, I realized that becoming a teacher made me learn. I get to know myself before as a student. So because of my experience as a student before, I became a better teacher now.
Yeah. You're making sense, actually, teacher.
Okay, so record po is.
It's okay. Go, teacher. Go.
Okay,
go.
so I decided to become a teacher because because of my experience before as a student. I already know what a student needs to learn, and through my experiences, I began teaching according to what I think I didn't get when I was a student. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
what I didn't get as a student before, I decided that I should do it to my students now because learning is very important. And I believe that children should learn through experience. So I think that's the reason why I became a teacher. And God decided that I should be a teacher because He thinks that I could help my students learn more.
Correct. Thank you, teacher. What about you, Teacher Darlene?
I feel so pressured. Okay. So actually, just like what Teacher Aly said, that first I don't want to be a teacher, but when we went to Tigbawan sa OJT naman sa college, okay, so I realized that there are some students who wants to study, who wants to go to school, but they don't have enough money to
spend.
Yes, and their houses their homes are very far in the school. So I realized that you can teach other kids even though they're not enrolled. And for short, though, you want to volunteer na lang to teach them.
So somehow that situation has inspired you
Yes.
to become a teacher.
And most of all, the love of the children.
You also love children.
And amo na siya ang nagpa-teach kids ako because it's very na-touching because the kids told me once, teacher, damo ko muna to sa iyo. And that is one saying that I will never ever forget.
Okay, so that has somehow motivated you to continue teaching and to really be in the teaching profession.
Yes, sir.
Yes. In my case, I believe I was destined to become a teacher. I really did not also like to become a teacher at first because I chose a different college course. Yeah, but then the destiny then has led me into this. More than that, I have embraced also the profession because my mother who I love so much was also a teacher. I mean, is also, was, because
Was.
she is retired now. So she was also a teacher, and she brought me to school like almost every day. So I was already in school like when I was 2 years old. I was already attending classes when I was 2 years old because of her. So with that situation, I was able to realize the value really of learning and of teaching at a very early age. So when I became a teacher, one way or the other, I was able to get into the system immediately, and I welcomed it immediately because of my background. So now when I'm teaching, I just remember my mom, I just remember my mother, and if there's one very important person in my life, that would always be my mother, and of course my father. And now when I'm teaching, I would always remember. So I think that has led me then to teaching. Next question, Teacher Darlene.
Okay, my question goes this way.
Wow, Miss Universe.
Kanino ka ba gumigising?
Oh.
What a question.
Okay. So, actually, kanino ka ba gumigising? First, you have to thank God because God lets you wake up every morning.
Yes, sister.
Yes.
And
Sister
then,
Darlene.
okay. So, ang tanong, ikaw ay isang guro. Kung hindi ka magigising, sino yung magiging teacher nila? O, di ba? So, syempre, ako ay gumigising para sa aking mga students. Di ba?
Plastic? No, not plastic.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, kanino ka pa gumigising? Actually, for my students, of course. Because, syempre kung wala ako, ano sila na teacher. So, anyway. Okay, so, amo na
na.
Students.
Students. What about the teacher?
I think, first of all, of course, same with Teacher Darlene, I wake up for God because I believe that God has put us. Yes,
of St. Paul, Sister of Shard.
Amen. So actually, I think that God led us here on earth, and then we have life because of Him, because He wanted us to do something. And for us, it's teaching. Teaching is what we should do. That teaching is what He had led us to do. So I believe that first I woke up because of God, because He woke me up every day so that I could teach. And number two, I wake up for my family as well, because I cook the breakfast. Yes, I cook breakfast every morning, so I have to wake up early for them, and that's a way of me giving my love also to my family. And of course, I wake up for my children, just like what Teacher Darlene said. Without me waking up, they will not have a teacher to teach them. So it's very important that teachers wake up early.
Correct.
So that we could prepare for our class.
Correct.
They are the reason why we should wake up early.
Yes. You children are the
Yes.
reason why we wake up early.
Yeah. So that's why the students or the learners should realize that also.
Yes.
I mean, of the efforts done by the teachers, because it's not easy really to become a teacher, right?
Yes.
Okay. So another question. Anyway, they both have answered the question, so I may not answer the question.
Next question. What frustrates you the most in a classroom?
Correct. So
Right now, I think what frustrates me the most as a teacher, because we're in an online class, is that I'm not able to see them face to face every day. So sometimes, because it's online, it's really hard to know if they really learned well with class. So that is my biggest frustration, especially when there's an internet connection. It's very hard to teach on an online class. So that's why I'm very ecstatic if we have face-to-face already for next year. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Let's pray for that, because it would be easier, I think, for teachers to teach the children, and for children to learn better, because they are focused in a classroom instead of being in a looking in front of a gadget, looking at their teacher on screen. I would like to see them face to face so that we could learn and have fun in school.
Yes, correct. And then, stage management wise, you have then the chance to provide the discipline that they truly needed. Because it's really difficult to to scold or to get mad when you are in an online class. But then in face to face, you can just look and make your eyes bigger. The students would already understand what you
feel.
Because we could not do some physical, what do you call that? Some physical reinforcement whatsoever. So that's why some facial expressions may be, if in case like they are misbehaving. So for the stage, not for the stage management, but I'm talking about classroom management. Discipline is also very much needed. What about the teacher learning?
Actually, first, just like what Teacher Aly said, internet connection. Okay, so just like in grade 1, for example, we only have 2 students. So, for example, the other one doesn't have Wi-Fi or not stable connection. So, we are just, I mean like one-on-one na kayo mag-teach. And then second is, naka-frustrate ako sa mother tongue. Because our students is like English totaling dollars. So for example, like we have a topic, pangsari and pangsari. So I will just translate again. So again, children, what is pangsari? Okay.
Question mark on the...
What is pangsari?
What?
What? Pangsari?
So it's a frustration on your part because the students, since they speak English well, and then they're so used of speaking English, it's very hard to let them really understand and to really, let them embrace really the concept of mother tongue.
And Filipino as well.
And Filipino as well.
So
and
it's
araling
good.
Palipunan
Yes,
as well.
so that it's good also to practice those languages.
Yes. And I told them to practice Hiligaynon because we're Ilonggos.
Ilonggos.
Ilonggos. Okay, thank you for that. Next.
I hope it's an easy question.
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh. This pandemic, what was the most difficult? Same thing.
Same thing. It is still
The
internet connection.
connection.
It is still that online learning.
Yes.
Because we could not really measure if the students understood the lessons that we taught them because it's really different, right?
Yes.
Although we have evaluation, we have assessment, but it's really different when it's face to face.
Face to face, you can really see if they really learn the lesson. If it's in face to face.
Yeah. If you get to see them really.
Yes. See them doing the work.
Yes. Because if you're using an internet, then there are some delays.
Yes.
So at some point, you might notice that the gap might be understood and that they did not really get the thing that you would want them to understand. So it's very confusing if it's really online class.
So it's difficult for us teachers and for the students
As well, correct.
Especially when we're doing some art.
Yes.
For example, they told me once, like, teacher, can you please help me? So I will just think how could I help them?
Teleport.
Except maybe just to show them. But even then, when you get to show them what you're doing, because it should supposed to be demonstration, it is still really very difficult. And then it's also difficult to hold the attention of the learners in an online class. Okay. So next question, teacher. Yeah, we have 3 more questions.
Most challenging in teaching.
Supposing in a normal classroom situation, supposing we are not in an online class, what do you think is the most challenging part in teaching?
Challenging part.
And yeah, am I looking at
Challenging part. In some face-to-face, sir.
some face-to-face, yes. Like maybe it could be a challenge. I mean, like coming to school early is a challenge, and then students coming late also is
times.
the students also are not coming to to school on time. So it's another challenge. Where if you're on time, when you want to start something, but some students are still not there, so you have to wait until most of them are already there. Another struggle also, or another challenge, would still we have to be disciplined also, because like when they're talkative, when they're doing a lot of things.
I think for me, the challenging part is getting the interest of the children.
Correct.
Especially because they have different learning styles. Some children are psychomotor, some are affective, some are
Very cognitive.
cognitive. So you really have, the challenge is to really create activities that would interest all those domains.
That will suit all the students who may have varied interests. So that's why your lessons have to be in a way different also.
Yes.
Like every now and then you have to keep on changing. Like for today, if you get to do the lecture, the next time again you're going to have film showing. The next time again you will have to do demonstration. To have varied presentations to have their interests. So that could be a challenge.
And you have to get their trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very
it's also
important.
very, most especially for like preschool. Yes.
Okay, so for example, they will go inside the classroom without their parents. So it's very challenging for you, because you will told them, mom is just there outside, so teacher is here for you. And if they have some trust with you, they will.
Yeah. And that will somehow disrupt the classes. Like for example, if some students are crying, so you have no choice but to deal with the situation.
Yes.
And you will have to know it later that it has been already 30 minutes that have wasted so much. Although it's not really a waste, because you also have to take care of the child.
Yes.
But then, yeah, correct. It's also a big challenge.
A teacher, 5-in-1 siya. Doctor,
Psychologist,
therapist, mother.
What else? Canteen owner, joke.
Cook,
Cook. Okay, now, yes.
singer, dancer.
Yeah, singer, dancer. Yes, because you have to dance and you have to sing as well.
And actor.
An actor as well. Correct. Class.
Clown.
Next question.
What is your teaching philosophy?
What is your teaching philosophy?
So I think my teaching philosophy is, I believe that children can learn on their own. They really have this inner skill that is within them already, that they could learn on their own. What the teacher needs to do is to facilitate it. So I believe that children are center of learning. So when I'm teaching, I'm not really thinking about what would be fun for me, what would be easier for me. What I would think about is what would make the lesson interesting for the child. So every time I teach, it's about their interest, not teacher's interest, but their interest. It's about their learning. So that's why I always ask them questions during class also. And I'm very happy also when they ask questions to me. Because when they ask questions, I know that they learn. Because questions, if it's coming from the child, it means that they are thinking. So I believe that it's very important that children should know that they are the center of teaching, not us teacher, but them. So that's my philosophy of teaching.
Correct. What about your teacher, Darl?
So for me, I believe that children can learn from their mistakes. Okay, so for example, in my class, there is someone who teasing his brother while I'm doing class. So, and I will ask him, like, for example, is it good that you tease your brother? Is it good? And the kid will say, no, teacher. So what will you do? What will you do? Because it's bad. Okay. So answer sila nga, I will not do it again.
So it's a realization coming from their own mistakes.
Yes.
Correct.
Learning from experience.
Yes, correct. And in relation to that, in Iloilo Prima Galaw, we always believe that every child is an artist. Yes. before, the concept of art is not actually very important, but not nowadays. Today, we really recognize the significance of art, of the creative arts in the lives of children, because without it, the lives of the learners will have to be very boring, will have to be very dragging. So art then reinforces the academics of the students. That is why then here in Iloilo Prima Galaw Institute, we make it sure that we provide them with enough opportunities, beautiful opportunities for them to grow, not as only as learners, but really as dreamers and as artists. Here in Iloilo Prima Galaw, we really wish to mold really holistic individuals who are not good in ABC and in 1, 2, 3, but may also be good in Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi. Not Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi. Yes. So, yeah, they're holistic. Okay, so thank you for that.
They have a creative mind.
Yes, correct. And second to the last.
Wow, how is your experience teaching in Iloilo Prima Galaw Art Institute?
Yes.
Well, when I first met the children, my first impression is that they are very confident and they are very active children. And of course, I find it also challenging, especially because we're not only about academics, but we're also about training the creative mind, just like what Sir D said. So it's very interesting and very challenging as well that we can combine academics with creative arts that we always do in Play and Learn. So it's also challenging to think of activities to do.
Yes, but you're doing it well, actually. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, sir. So yes, it's very challenging, but when you see that the children are enjoying it and are learning from it, you feel like a sense of fulfillment when they do that.
Correct. What about you, teacher?
Okay, I agree with Teacher Aly because it is very fun here in IPGAI. It's because of the activities, the Play and Learn, and it's very challenging for us because kina-combine ang ACADS and activities. And correct again si Teacher Aly because galak na kami sa mga activities kung ano naman ang awan na i-add. But if we can see the children, pag ina-apply nila ang gina-teach sa ila, especially sa Play and Learn, sa like theater.
Yeah, we also have some dances. We also have like art.
Art, of course.
And which the children really love, diba? When they're doing art, they're really inspired to do more. Correct.
The full feeling. It's
Some feeling. Yes, when you get to see them also enjoy.
Yes.
Yes, correct. One last question.
What inspires you to continue to teach?
Yes.
Okay. So just like what I've said earlier, so some kids. So actually, I'm a youth from Barrio Obrero. So a lot of children there doesn't know actually even from mga basic lang like ABC. They didn't know how, but you can makita mo like may art sila may makita mo gid nga they have the ability to pero pero amo na hindi sila ka-study because they don't have enough money. So ma-volunteer ka to teach them.
So meaning like you create programs for them?
Like, sir, are you familiar with Flores de Mayo?
De Mayo.
Yeah.
Oh. So you incorporate teaching students in that program during May.
Sega Sundays.
Every day. Every day.
That's good. So it's like it is an outreach program. Like it's a volunteering work. Because there's no pay, though you still do it, right? So it's really the joy of being a teacher, seeing students, having that interest to learn, and being really, being excited also to know a lot of things, particularly of the things that you teach them. So I think that's it.
For me, I think what makes me motivated to teach every day is seeing my children learn, and also show when they show to me that they are really learning. Like for example, when a child tells me, "Teacher, I already know how to multiply. I already memorized the multiplication,"
Correct.
and then I when we did experiments, they would also say about they would also give me their own ideas with the experiment that we're making. That's those simple things makes me happy in learning. And also when they ask questions, I love it when my children ask questions in class, because you know that when a child asks questions, it means that she or he is interested with the lesson that you are teaching. So those simple things that just telling me, the teacher, I already know this, I already know that, and then when I see them like working very well, like for example when it's writing in kinder, and then even though some of them have a hard time doing it, but they are trying their very very best to write and to read. Those simple things makes me happy and makes me want to continue to teach, because I know that I am helping children as well.
Correct. So thank you very much, Teacher Darlene and Teacher Ali, for sharing your passion towards teaching and of course your vocation as well. So that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and I hope you get to join us again next time. Bye.
Bye.